Hey guys, me, I switched to you guys. Today, guys, I'm going to give you guys my La Liga 2019 to 2020 Barcelona season review. This is coming out on July 21st, 2020. So I'm going to break down this review into four different categories. I'm going to talk to you guys about the positives for this season, the big positives, negatives, and I would say the best games of the season, and then my overall thoughts. Okay, and when I'm talking about the positives and negatives, I'm only talking about like the biggest. I'm talking like only the biggest ones. So like for example, like the most important ones. So yeah, let's go and get started. Let's start with the positives first. So for me, one of the best parts of the season, one of the few best parts of the season, I would say, was Ricky Puig and Ansu Fati making a name for themselves because they got so many minutes. Like they were given so many opportunities to start, and I genuinely think that in next season we could see them play on a regular basis. And if that happens, I would be so happy because this season I think was a perfect season for them to give some opportunities. I really like both of them as people. They really contribute to the pitch. Ansu Fati takes on players individually, has a quality and skill, and he's got 8 goals, man. He's got 8 goals, which is pretty impressive considering that at the beginning of the season, I didn't even know about this guy. I didn't know about this. He's only 17 years old, guys. He has a lot of room to grow and develop, and I really think that under Kike Setien, he'll be getting more opportunities, more opportunities. And I just genuinely love this guy. I just love this guy. And I think this guy could be the heir to our problems because you guys know that in general, FC Barcelona have a winger problem that we don't really have many wingers that could really play for us. And he's the only one that's actually available for us to use this season. And so yeah, next season we'll have Francisco Trincao coming in. We have Pedri coming in. Hopefully Ousmane Dembele can recover. And Ansu Fati, he could get some minutes. He's already been given a lot of game time this season, and I expect more of the same. Ricky Puig, he gives us something to midfield that our midfield players don't have. Frankie Young doesn't really have that. Arthur Melo doesn't really have that. Sergio Busquets doesn't have that. Vidal doesn't have that. Rakitic doesn't have that. He has a young, raw pace. Acceleration, he can give that through ball, and he's such an attack-minded midfielder that I really do think we are lacking. He gives that creative outlet. And look at that last game against Alaves. He scored, he gave 2 assists on the day, and I was really impressed with what he did. And so I'm hoping that next season we'll see more of him in that midfield. And then the last positive thing I have for this season is Messi's stats. Messi has been constantly our main source maker, main goal source, main maker, and he's been playmaking. I mean, he has got 25 goals and 21 assists, guys. This is unbelievable, man. There's only one other person that's got that kind of similar number, which is Thierry Henry, 2002-2003, which got 20 goals and 20 assists. And this is unbelievable, man. Messi and this kind of Barcelona team is one of the worst Barcelona teams I've ever seen in the decade and probably in the generation. And yet, he is still performing for us, which shows how good he is, okay? And like I said before, guys, Messi is key for Barcelona. Without Messi, Barcelona struggles, and we have seen that time and time again this season, and that Messi can perform at any level, regardless how the team is. And that's what I love about Lionel Messi, is that he's so individually so good. So now we're talking about some negatives, okay? Now this one might be a little bit harsh. This is kind of only geared towards 2 players in particular. That the summer signings for me haven't really been that impressive. I haven't been impressed with the summer signings. Okay. Now the only person I could kind of maybe take out this list that hasn't really been underwhelming to say is Frankie Young. I do think Frankie Young has been impressive for what he's done so far. The thing is though, I don't think Frankie Young has performed on the level that we saw in Ajax. I think he's definitely dipped in there. Although, to be fair, I do think in this Barcelona team, he's playing a much different position, whereas in Ajax, he plays the center mid. So, like I said before, guys, Frankie de Jong is such a versatile player. I really like Frankie de Jong. And I think for me, it's a good season for him. But for his standards, I think it would be kind of an average season for him because he didn't really, impact so much our play. I don't think he was, incredibly impactful or a play for making goals and making crucial interceptions, that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that Frankie de Jong continues to improve, and I'm hoping that next season we'll see more of him on a regular basis. Because like I said, this season, he hasn't really been given – he's been given a lot – this season towards the end of the stage, he was injured. So I think, like I said before, guys, I'm hoping that next season we'll see Frankie Young in his natural position. So I think this one's pretty harsh on Frankie Young, but the other two, I think it's more justified. Junior Ferpa. Oh, God. Junior Ferpa. Junior Ferpa, for me, has been a decent fullback. It's not to say he has been terrible by any means. Obviously, we all know his mistakes he's made. Like I said, that mistake he made in the Napoli game is very crucial there. And then, obviously, he made the mistake in the Granada game away from home earlier in the season. So, like I said, he has been great. I do think, he has been decent for a fullback. As I said before, it's probably the lack of experience. Like I said, it's his first season in FC Barcelona. Barcelona is such a big test for any player who just came from Real Betis. And like I said, guys, he's only young. He's only 23 years old, I think. And so I definitely think Junior Ferpa has a lot to develop in the future. I don't really see any reason why he will struggle. So just for this season, it's a little bit disappointing. A little bit disappointing considering how great he was at Real Betis. And the Antoine Griezmann, man. I don't know where to begin because Antoine Griezmann, for me, has been a decent player. Okay? He's been phenomenal for us. He scored 14 goals, I think, in all competitions. The thing is, though, despite the fact that he has scored so many goals for us, he doesn't really get involved in the play that much. He doesn't really get involved in the play that much, which I would say is probably his biggest criticism here is because of the fact that he isn't getting involved in the play. And his work rate is outstanding. Like I said, guys, his work rate is great. He can really track back defensively. He's so good as a defensive player. The problem is we paid him $120, not for defensive work. We paid him for attacking work. That's what we paid for. And so I'm hoping that next season that we can see the best out of Antoine Griezmann and that new formation because we did see that new formation against Villarreal and it did work really, really well for him. And so maybe next season we can see him really get involved more, get more goals. Because like I said, guys, before, with this kind of signing, you would expect so much more from him. Okay? Now, I do think he has been decent for us. I do think he has been better than Eden Hazard, in my opinion. I do think he has been decent. But for the money we paid, I think it's a little bit underwhelming. A little bit, okay? Okay? The next negative I have here is the defense. Oh, God. The defense. Holy moly. The defense for me has been absolutely fire. And I mean that in a bad way. We haven't been great defensively, okay? And I really want to show you guys this number right here. Let's look at how many goals we have conceded in the league, okay? Let's look at how many goals we have conceded in the league. And let's really compare that with, I would say, the top 7, okay? Let's really look at it, okay? So as you can see right here, guys, we have conceded 38 goals. That is more than Real Madrid. That is more than Atletico Madrid. That's even more than Sevilla, guys. Okay? That's even more than Getafe, guys. Okay? Now, that defense for me is not good enough. Okay? It's really not. It's not as bad as compared to the rest of the teams in the league. Let's be real, though. At the end of the day, we're competing in the Champions League. Okay, in the Champions League, we cannot be conceding goals like this. You guys know how many goals we concede away from home. We have been really terrible away from home. We haven't been great away from home. We haven't even scored and those embarrassing defeats, we haven't even scored a single away goal in those games. So, like I said before, guys, that defense for me is very, very easy to breach past. And like I said, teams can easily counter-attack. And you guys saw how teams like Osasuna could do it. Even teams like Granada could do it. Even teams like Valencia could do it. Like, all those kind of teams can do it. Every team can counter-attack. And that's the problem here is that we're very easy to breach past. And that's such a problem for us. It's such a problem. And we're going to really need to fix the defensive unit. Because like I said before, guys, our defense for me, the only really good center back I would say for us on a regular basis is Clement Lenglet. Gerard Pk for me has been all right. He's been decent. I do think Gerard Pk is great. It's just his pace, man. His pace is not good. That's the biggest problem I have with Gerard Pk. And he's too old, man. He's too old. And we really need some better center backs there. So hopefully this summer we can get maybe Araujo to play more, maybe Todibo to play more, maybe even sign some defenders. Like I said before, guys, for me, honestly, I think PK is a great center back. I don't think he isn't. I'm just saying that I don't think PK should be playing for us every single game. I think it's too much for him. You know, I heard he doesn't even have he can't even sleep properly. He only sleeps 2 hours per night. That's not good. You need to. These guys should be sleeping at least 8 hours, at the very minimum. Okay. Which brings us on to my next point. We have too many old players on this team. Okay, guys, the average age, I think, for this season has been 30.7. This has been awful, guys. We can't have 30-year-olds be almost everywhere on the team. This is such a problem. So hopefully next season that we can have some more youth players. Because like I said, guys, when you're 30 years old, despite how good you are, you're never in your peak. You're never in your prime, and you're always going to be outrun for pace. The acceleration is there, the hunger, the desire to win trophies is going to get more and more drained out. Okay, and so that's why for me we need to really, really amp up the La Masia people, and that's why for me, when I said earlier, Ricky Puig and Ansu they're probably the best things this season. I really do mean it. So hopefully next season we can see some more youth players integrated in the team, which I do think we will. I think we will see more youth players in the team next season. Like I said, Trincão's coming in, Pedri's coming in, and I genuinely think they're gonna maybe be mainstays on the team. So yeah, best games. Now this is very subjective. Like I said, when I talk about the best games here, I'm not talking about the games that have the most goals, because games with the most goals does not really reflect to me as the best game. I'm talking about overall. How did a team play overall? And I'm sure there are some games you guys will say, wait, you never even mentioned about this. I'm only picking 4, guys. I'm picking the best 2 away games, in my opinion, and best 2 home games. I do have some honorable mentions. Only 2. 1 home game and 1 away game for the honorable mentions. And if you guys have any home best games that I didn't mention in the video, please feel free to leave in the comment section below. All right? So let's go ahead and get started. So the first game I have here is Atletico Madrid away from home. This one was an intense game. This was a game in which everything was really, really even. For me, this game was such a difficult game because we played, I would say, pretty well. And maybe we were a bit fortunate at times. I think this game had about of everything. You know, we had a lot of goalkeeper saves. We had a lot of shots taken, a lot of tiredness building, crazy almost near shots. And at the end of the day, Messi came up big, and Messi does what he does best. And Messi puts in the back of the net to make it 1-0. And I got to give credit to Lionel Messi here because he absolutely saved us here, gave us that vital 3 points. And that was a big game for us. That was the first goal he scored in the Wanda Metropolitano, guys. Incredible, man. Incredible. And that was his final goal as a 5th Ballon d'Or. I would say that game was pretty good. Okay. And it was a really exciting game, too. I think it was a very good game on both ends of the pitch. And I honestly think it was a game to be. It's a game that we can always look forward to, you know. Yes, it didn't have that many goals, but it was very, very intense. Next up, it is Granada at home. Another game that's also kind of a similar picture as this. We absolutely dominate Granada. We dominate Granada to the point that Granada only had 1 shot, none on target. You know, we limited them to that, and that game was so great. We had 1,000 passes in the game. We were so good pass actually wise. We penetrated them. We had everything in the game. Ricky Puig came on, made an instant impact. He won the ball back for us. He passed it to Griezmann. Griezmann passed it to Vito. Vito does a back heel, assist to Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi puts in the back of the net. And if I make any mistakes, please let me know in the comments below because, like I said, guys, I'm running through this just my brain right now. Like I said, I am prone to making mistakes. And like I said before, guys, this was a game which we absolutely dominated. Sergio Busquets, I remember he tried to what's the word called again? Put pressure on the goalkeeper. And we played so well in this game. And the funny thing is that we didn't even play in a 4-3-3. I think we played in the 3-5-2, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So we didn't even play in our proper, we didn't even play in our formation that we were so accustomed to. And yet we still dominate Granada. And I know this is only Granada. However, this was still a great turning point. And this was such a great start for Quique Setien. A clean sheet at home against Granada, a team that's beaten us before. And we played extremely well. And it was just so amazing. Such a breath of fresh air. I was so happy. And ultimately, we deservedly won. Okay? Then Real Betis away from home. Another game I would say was very, very crazy, very intense. It's a tough game to go to the Benito Stadium. We know what Real Betis are capable of doing so. And like I said, guys, this game was perfect. We had about everything against us. Like I said, there was some penalties that probably should have been given to us. There was a call at the end that probably should have been given. And we had such a great teamwork on the day. And like I said, guys, one of the things that was really outstanding in this game was the fact that Messi didn't even have to score on the day, and yet he was still critical for us. He made 3 assists on the day. He got a hat trick of assists, guys. A hat trick of assists. I got to give a huge recognition to that. That's amazing, guys. We had some great goals. The first goal from Frankie Young was such a beautiful teamwork goal. And then the set pieces came in vital. Sergio Busquets equalizes for us, and then Clement Longley gives us the lead at the very end. And like I said, it was such a great game overall because it was such a tough place to go to that we were trailing. We had trailed twice in the game. And like I said before, guys, Betis are by no means an easy team to beat. They're a tough team to beat. And we all know how Betis beat it. Guys, Betis beat Real Madrid at their home stadium. And Real Madrid couldn't even beat Betis at home. They even drew. So we can beat Betis. And I feel like that was such a great test. And it was such a great game overall. That it was such a crazy game, intense game. And it was pretty even, I would say, for the most part. Some honorable mentions. I would say Eibar away from home was great. Like I said, we had the MSG finally combined. All 3 of Messi, Suarez, Griezmann combined for goals on the day. And it was such a great performance overall on the day from the MSG. And then Real Betis at home. How could I forget this game? This was such a great game overall. I was really impressed with this game. This was the game where Antoine Griezmann really made his mark as a Barcelona player. Carlos Perez came on and scored a goal. Arturo Vidal came on and scored a goal. Jordi Alba scored a goal on the day too. And it was just absolutely mesmerizing. And this was the first game that Ansu Fati even debuted in. And it was such a great game overall. Lovely display. And it's a game that I'm always going to look back and say that's probably Antoine Griezmann's best game of the season. So my overall thoughts. I would say the season was probably a disappointing season. I think this season has been disappointing. I don't think this season we played particularly that well. With that said, though, we did score a lot of goals this season. I mean, we did score a lot of goals. And that's what we're known for at the end of the day. We scored 86 goals. And let's look at last season. Last season, we scored 90 goals. So it's almost about the same. So we didn't really deteriorate goal scoring wise. It's just this season there was more pressure. This season I would say it was more pressure. We were not as consistent as last season. I would say last season we were more consistent. This season we weren't that consistent. We were dropping points away from home in unexpected fashion, and we could not hold on to leads. I remember there was 3 games in particular we could have hold on to a lead. I remember against against Atletico Madrid, we couldn't hold on to the lead. And then against Celta Vigo, we couldn't hold on to the lead. And the Real Sociedad, we couldn't hold on to the lead. And so we are capable of conceding goals towards the death of the game, and that's really cost us. And then I remember against Espanyol, that also happened too. So, like I said before, guys, every team is improved. Real Madrid improved significantly this season, and that's why they won the league. And like I said, we're going to need to really improve our defensive work, and we're really going to need to improve the squad as a whole, because like I said, for me, the squad wasn't really that good compared to Real Madrid. Real Madrid, for me, had such a bigger squad. They had more squad depth, and I think they had more rotations in place, and I feel like Zinedine Zidane could control the team much better than Quique Setien. Although, to be fair, it's only Quique Setien's first half of the season. So, like I said, it would be really difficult for us to really expect so much from Quique Setien because it's only his first half of the season. However, next season, we're going to need to play a lot better. And so overall, if I had to give a rating for this season, I would say this season is probably a 5 out of 10-ish. I guess I would say maybe even a 4. I'm going to go with a 4.5 probably. Like I said, I didn't think the season was particularly that good. I don't think the season was particularly that bad. I do think we have seen some positive marks. I think Quique Setien, we've definitely improved our play. Possession-wise, we've been better. Passing-wise, we've been better. The only thing we've been lacking under Quique Setien, I feel like that's the thing that's caused us the most, is the clinicality. We haven't scored that many goals under Quique Setien. That's been the biggest problem for us lately, is that scoring goals for us has been a huge, huge problem for us. And I feel like under Ernesto Valverde, that wasn't really our problem. I feel like under Ernesto Valverde, it was our defense that was the biggest problem. So, like I said before, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Like I said, I just thought of this. And please comment and like and subscribe to the video. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, guys. Peace out.